Brothers and sisters, thanks for joining me. Hey, I did one of my very first videos all about the debacle that was the new Jaguar marketing campaign, and this was back in I think like December. And then so it just caught my fancy when I saw this article this morning. Posted August 2nd, 2025. That's today. PJ Media. Ultra woke Jaguar CEO steps down. Oh, imagine that. Who could have predicted it? Why would he ever want to step down? Jaguar's a great company. So PJ, this is on PJ Media, so I'll put the link in a little while. And if you guys want, you can go back and watch my video. I'll put it in the link in the end credits if you want to watch my original thoughts on the Jaguar rebranding. But I got to show you, I've been a huge fan of Jaguar since I was a little kid. James Bond used to drive a great Jag around, and wow, an E class in British Racing Green is something I always aspired to have. If I was a bazillionaire, I'd go back and buy one, but I'm not. But just to show you guys, back here on my shelf, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've got one of the originals, James Bond Goldfinger cars that my aunt in Scotland got me after we went and saw Goldfinger. I'm pretty sure that's the story. Maybe it was a different Bond film. She used to like to take me to Bond films. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was likely to be Goldfinger. I don't know exactly what year it came out, but it might have been Goldfinger. So I think I would go to the Odeon in Scotland down in Glasgow with my aunt, and I still have the little dude that most little kids flung the little guy in the ejector seat to infinity and beyond. But I still have it. So anyway, I've got a special place in my heart for Jaguars. So here, let's see what PJ Media looks like. Catherine Salgado. Here, I might have to give her a follow on X after I finish this. Or here, I'll give her a follow right now on X, because she's writing a nice article for me. All right, so let's see. Oh, and I hate this too. I hate the new Jaguar thing, icon, whatever, that they've been putting on Jags for probably, I don't know what, the last 10 years, ever since like Jaguar sold Jaguar to Tata. So little known fact, Jaguar's not actually British anymore. Jaguar and Land Rover got sold, and I think Tata in India owns them now. So it's kind of funny. India owns, the two iconic British car companies. It's like Britain. Oh my God, what are you guys doing over there? And again, full disclaimer, I'm allowed to talk bad about the British. I am one. I was born there. I have papers to prove it. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Honk if you saw this one coming. In a move that everyone but top leadership at Jaguar could have predicted, the CEO who oversaw the car company's woke rebranding is stepping down. I hope he fired up the whole marketing team too before, but he was probably the one in on it, I guess. I guess it's a guy. I don't know. We'll scroll down and see. While American Eagle made headlines with an ad people found refreshing in its lack of leftist rhetoric, Jaguar was driving full speed over the edge of cliffs of insanity, otherwise known as woke rebranding. Not to mention that Jaguar is all in on the electric vehicle climate alarmist nonsense. Now Jaguar Land Rover CEO Adrian Mardell is leaving his post. Yeah, fully agree. Jaguar just didn't get the message. Trump won, and this marketing campaign came out in around December. Trump had won the election. Woke was dead, as Cartman said. The CEO just didn't get it, and I get he probably was following kind of the sunk cost fallacy. He'd already spent a ton of money on making this marketing campaign, and didn't want to waste it because maybe the board would have been mad and he would have gotten in big trouble for all the money he's wasted there. But you learn in business school about sunk costs. This is a sunk cost. Once woke was dead, they should not have run this ad. America was turning. If you didn't know it before, you should have known it then. And Sydney Sweeney now has really kind of put the last nail in the coffin because boobs are back, fellas. So it's you can say you can talk about blondes with big boobs, and the lunatics will say that that's crazy and you're Nazis and fascists and eugenics. But is it any surprise to anyone that boobs sell? Even girls like boobs. I mean, people like boobs. It's a thing. Um, the company appears to be framing this as an ordinary retirement taken at the end of a very financially successful tenure in office. That's nonsense. Jaguar hasn't been able to sell any cars in the last 6 months. But Jaguar stock plunged in November 2024. Okay, so that was actually before the ad, to be fair, after the company's new outrageous woke ad campaign was released. Oh, okay, so it was actually released in November. I was thinking it was December. And it continues to face multiple financial challenges. Yeah, it's, if he was at the helm and their stock price is tanking and they can't sell cars, he needs to be fired and you need to get somebody new. That's business 101. The CEO screwed up. He's at the helm. He's got to go down, not the ship. Car and Driver spoke to Jaguar to confirm Mardell's retirement, announcing Adrian Mardell will retire as CEO of JLR after 3 years in the position and 35 years with the company, a spokesman confirmed to Car and Driver. In his 3 years as CEO, Mardell took the company from taking heavy financial losses to achieving its best profits in years. Yeah, but that's probably true if they're saying it, but so they were doing horrible. They were doing better probably in 2024. And that's what they're talking about. But then this whole marketing campaign tanked the company. They went all woke. I don't think in their first ad there was even a Jaguar. I didn't even know it was a car company ad. And the people that buy Jags are people like me. It's kind of old white guys who have relatively high disposable income. That's who buys Jags. The woke folk don't buy Jags. When I first saw that ad, I thought it was a Benetton ad from back in the 80s. It was all colorful and diverse and all that, but I didn't see any cars in it. I didn't know what it had to do with Jaguar, but I'm thinking I'm not the only one. It looks like people out in the world did not understand that ad either because they couldn't sell any cars. Electric vehicles are very expensive, but Jaguar customers might not be extremely bothered by that. EVs are also, however, extremely unreliable, inefficient, prone to problems, wholly impractical for long trips. Furthermore, EV car batteries, which are extremely toxic to manufacture and dispose of, and which rely on abusive labor in Africa and China, have comparatively short lives. Okay, I got to take umbrage with this whole paragraph. I don't like this whole paragraph, so I'm going to talk about it. Full disclosure, I own a Tesla. I bought a Tesla 2019 Model S. Love it. It's been great. I disagree with the first part of this. Mine has not been unreliable. It did actually, after 5 years, right at about 5 year mark. So just in the last 6 months, it had a battery problem. They replaced the battery under warranty. No problem. Prone to problems? No. That was really the only problem I ever had with it. It was only in the shop for that. I did have to have the CV boots replaced on it because they were leaking. That's it. I've had no other problems with it. I did have the 12-volt battery replaced though but like I said, at 5 years. And then the main battery replaced slightly after that. But the main battery is covered under warranty, so it was free. So I would say no, it is not unreliable. It's not prone to problems, and wholly impractical for long trips. This I would give kind of a somewhat. It is harder to drive it long distances because it takes longer to charge than it does to refuel a gas car. Fully agree with that. So I wouldn't say it's wholly impractical. You need to plan where you're going to charge when you're on long trips is basically what it comes down to. And it will add time to your trip. Takes a little longer to get there, but the Tesla charging network is excellent. So I've never run into a problem where I've gotten to a charger and not been able to charge. Now, other manufacturers or charging networks are not as good. So I find Tesla is a superior product just on that alone, the reliability of their charging network. Now, the second part, their batteries are extremely toxic to manufacture and dispose of. I believe this is true, to be fair. they rely on abusive labor in Africa and China. I believe that is true too, and they have comparatively short lives. Well, depends how you look at it. Yes, if you assume that the battery should last 10 years, say, and Tesla claims their batteries will last the life of the car, and they give you an 8-year battery warranty on the main battery. And mine died at 5. They gave me a free one. There was no charge to getting a new battery and a new fuse for the battery. But I would say there is one other problem that this doesn't address. Because they are so reliable, they don't need much maintenance. They don't have a lot of maintenance technicians out there. So you can't take your Tesla to your regular mechanic, right? And they don't have a dealership network because Elon decided he would sell all his online pretty much and save on the money on having dealers. But the problem is they don't have the dealership maintenance network. So the maintenance network is honestly too small for the number of Teslas out there. So that, for me, that's the biggest negative of a Tesla. It doesn't break often, but if it does, you're going to wait longer to get it fixed. Like, it took me a month to get my battery replaced, where if that same thing had happened, even if my whole engine had broken on, say, my BMW, I probably would have had it fixed in a couple of weeks, at most, maybe 2 weeks, for a whole engine replacement. I'm thinking. Tell me if I'm wrong. I had a BMW in the past, and I was able to get it fixed faster. But anyway, I digress. So I've got some problems with this paragraph. I would say the first half is I don't agree with. The second half, yeah, pretty much so. Again, but hey, let's get back to Jaguar. Let's stop talking about EVs. That's a different video. Again, the Jaguar spokesperson simply told Car and Driver, Adrian Mardell, has expressed his desire to retire from JLR after 3 years as CEO, 35 years with the company. But speculation is rife due to the company's bad press and financial pitfalls because of the EV craze, and the laughably woke ad. Yeah, this dude got fired by the board. Come on, he was asked to step down. Are we surprised? And then also, one other thing I'd say about EVs is Jaguar needs to do what all the other companies are doing. Toyota, BMW, the GM. I think all these big car companies have said they're going to slow down production on EVs because nobody wants them. Let's be honest. EVs are more expensive to produce right now anyway because they're not at high scale. And I believe the government's pushing EV manufacturers to make more EVs is a bad idea. Let the market just take care of it. And the market is saying we don't want more EVs. And again, I'm a believer. I bought one, and I will probably buy another Tesla, even with all the Tesla hate out there. It's the best car I've ever owned, in my opinion. And I've owned a few. I'd love to have the Jaguar, but I think it would break down a lot more than my EV. And trust me, my Model S is faster than any Jaguar I think on the market. Unless Jaguars come out with a new electric that's super fast, but I doubt it. I think Tesla still holds the record as the fastest cars on the road for their street legal. So my thought on that is the market is saturated. Everyone who wants an EV has an EV. And so there's not a lot of growth left because just a lot of people don't want EVs. And I'm fine with that. Some people like blue cars. Some people like black cars. Some people like yellow cars. You go buy whatever car you want. Some people like diesels, some people like petrol, some people like EVs. Don't make people buy a specific car because you want to virtue signal stuff. All right, so here's this thing here from Ollie London, Jaguar, Land Rover, stepping down months after controversial woke rebrand of the company's move to switch to EV sales suffer. Adrian Mardell will step down and retire as CEO after 3 decades. The ad's pretty quick, so you know what? Let's watch it. Let me rewind it. Hopefully you guys can hear this. We'll see at the end. Here, let me pause it. But can I pause it? Okay. So here's the actual ad. It's pretty quick. It's only 30 seconds. So this is the ad that I did a video on that, and we'll just watch it. I won't say anything. It's 30 seconds. But this was their first ad on their new campaign to sell Jaguars. All right. So now you've seen it. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike and have to take this out, but we'll see. Um, what did that have to do with cars? I think American Eagle did it better. And who did it better? You know, uh, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, beautiful girls with big boobs. Uh, that's how they used to sell cars. Look at every like old car magazine. It's always a girl in a in shorts or a bikini or tight outfit, you know, sitting on the car. There wasn't even a car in that ad. I don't know what that ad had to do with Jaguar, and it's very clever. I get it. And a little spoiler: if you watch their second ad, see that rock in the middle there? That looks a little like their new Jaguar. It's the same sort of shape, but it's a rock. It's too clever. If you're trying to sell Jaguars, that ad does not work on you know, 40 plus white guys with disposable income who are your main customers who buy Jaguars. So Jaguar just does not understand its audience, and the people in that ad or the people that ad kind of resonates with, they don't buy Jaguars. It's like, dude, I'm telling you. Adrian, what were you thinking? You were with Jaguar. You worked for Jaguar for 35 years. You were there when you actually sold good cars. And yeah, bring back. I want the Jaguar hood ornament. Bring that back. I don't like that piece of junk that you guys have on there now. Yeah, I don't like that piece of junk. Put the cool like Jaguar hood ornament back instead of that. All right, so maybe Mardell is pulling out before total financial collapse occurs. Maybe he was pressured to resign. His direct predecessor served for 2 years, but CEO before that served for 10. Whatever the case, Mardell and the rest of Jaguar leadership certainly managed at one blow to make a beloved icon brand an online laughingstock. And thus, he proved once again that many Western corporate leaders are either such ideologues that they will even deliberately harm their bottom line to push Marxist propaganda, or they are desperately trying to reshape culture in their image, or they are so blinded that they really believe we peasants will simply applaud what they do. In truth, the Jaguar ad campaign and EV switch was an auto wreck of epic proportions. Yeah, I completely agree with the sentiment in your article, Catherine. So good job. I did give you a follow. I'm going to share. I'm going to share this with my Facebook. One other thing I would add, she's got it. There's one thing she left out. I agree with everything she says here, but I don't think Adrian might not actually be woke, to be honest. What it might be is investors. That might be why he's doing it. So Blackstone is a big investment company, and my condolences, because I think one of the Blackstone executives was just killed by that crazy guy in New York. So my condolences to her. But Blackstone, I think, and I could be wrong here. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I think they came up with the ESG fund, right? So they came up with a fund, basically a woke funds, and the idea was, hey, we're going to invest in companies that are woke. And by doing that, that's going to help the environment. That's going to help on social issues, and then that's going to draw in additional, that's going to drive share price higher. And so CEOs were forced to follow woke policies and implement DEI. And if they didn't, they couldn't get investment from these big funds like Blackstone. And Blackstone would go out to places like pension funds have a lot of teachers in it and unions and things like that, and say, hey, we're woke, and that's good. And now unions turned out didn't like it so much, but the teachers unions I think did. I think it resonated with them. And then so that brought a lot of money into the company. So the CEOs actually, I believe, knew that the DEI, woke ideology, all this diversity stuff, didn't actually drive revenues or profits, but it drove incoming investment, and that incoming investment translated to big bonuses or big stock payouts to the CEOs and the executives. So the executives all got rich by doing this, but the companies didn't actually make more money. I think that's been proven out. And now that America's kind of turned against woke and DEI, and we've got Trump out there, everyone is just calling it out as nonsense. The cancel culture is pretty much done. And again, like Art Cartman said, woke is dead. So I do think that's another major factor that Catherine probably should have got into her article, but maybe it was too much. But overall, I think it's a good article. I think she did a good job here, and that's what I thought. So yeah, woke is dead. I think we're going to see more of the old style stuff, like my whole life I've seen beautiful girls selling stuff. It works. So we're getting back to basics, and companies are stopping the virtue signaling. And I think it's good. We're going back to a meritocracy. And if you couldn't tell, I'm completely against DEI and woke. I want everything to be a meritocracy, no matter what the opportunity is, no matter what job it is. Objectively hire or give the opportunity to the person who has the best skills, background, experience for the job. Stop the nonsense with giving it to people just because of their identity. Identity politics needs to die. So with that, I'm going to end it. If you like and subscribe, ring the bell. You know what to do. If you didn't like it, don't watch me. Like South Park said, this should probably be watched by anyone. And nobody watches my stuff anyway. But if you enjoyed it, let me know. And if I got anything wrong, let me know. Thanks. Talk to you guys later. Bye.